आफ्टरमाथ में जो संघर्ष हुई भारत पाक के बीच, उसमें मारे गए निर्दोष लोगों को मैं महाराष्ट्र की ओर से, अपनी पार्टी की ओर से श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करना चाहता हूं। साथ ही जो सभी माननीय सांसदों ने कहा, मैं उस बात को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि हमारे वीर सैनिकों को भी मैं नमन करता हूं। एंड आई थिंक इट्स फेयर टू से दैट दिस एंटायर हाउस, कटिंग अक्रॉस पार्टीज, will never forget their bravery and sacrifice. So few people may know that the biggest contributor of tourism to the state of Kashmir, to the region of Kashmir, is Maharashtra. And isliye after this attack, it left a very deep scar on the people of Maharashtra. मैं सबसे पहले हमारे महाराष्ट्र सरकार को इसलिए धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, और इसमें बहुत सारे राज्य सरकार थे who went to Kashmir, to Srinagar, to rescue stranded tourists and bring them back. And Maharashtra Sarkar played a very, very good role in arranging aircrafts to bring back the tourists who were stranded there almost immediately. इसके साथ साथ I don't think इस सदन में किसी सांसद ने इस व्यक्ति का उल्लेख किया, लेकिन एक शायद आदिल हुसैन शाह, एक कश्मीरी पोनी ऑपरेटर, जो टूरिस्ट को मदद करते समय एक आतंकवादी द्वारा मारा गया। मैं आज गर्व से कह सकता हूं कि हमारी पार्टी शिवसेना और हमारे मुख्य नेता एकनाथ शिंदे जी ने उनके परिवार के सदस्यों को 5 लाख रुपए की राशि दी है, और उन्हें उनके घर बनवाने के लिए हम पूरी तरह से उनको मदद कर रहे हैं। एंड व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस पॉइंट, नॉट टू स्कोर अ पॉलिटिकल पॉइंट और मेक अ पॉलिटिकल ऑब्जर्वेशन, बट महाराष्ट्र हैज ऑलवेज stood by the country when there's a tragedy, even when it transcends our borders. This has happened in Bhuj when there was an earthquake in Gujarat. It's happened in many parts of the country. So in addition to that, I must congratulate this government, the Prime Minister's resolve, the Home Minister's resolve, the Defense Minister's resolve, for as Sanjay Jha ji before me spoke, that there is a new normal in our country. And I think the deterrence capacity of India and our new normal is proving to be effective. Somebody had famously said across the border that our strategy is to hit India and bleed India with 1,000 cuts. For the first time, we can say with great confidence that India is refusing to be bled by 1,000 cuts, and we are ready to strike where India has never struck before. हमारे लोकसभा में, राज्यसभा में भी हमारे माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने, रक्षा मंत्री जी ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की मिलिट्री ऑपरेशन के बारे में पूरी देश को उन्होंने संबोधित किया। आई डोंट वांट टू रिपीट सम ऑफ दोस पॉइंट्स, बट टू मी फ्यू हाइलाइट्स दैट आर वेरी, वेरी क्रिटिकल टू रिपीट। द फैक्ट दैट वी वेंट 100 kilometers into the heart of Pakistan to strike where we have never struck before is an important point to reiterate. The fact that Operation Mahadev, led by the Army, the Indian Army, paramilitary forces, CRPF, and the local J&K police, neutralized all 3 terrorists who were involved in Pahalgam attack. And खास करके जो आज सुबह हमारे माननीय रक्षा मंत्री जी ने एक पॉइंट जो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट है, उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट्स टुडे इन 2024 आर 35 times more than they were in 2014. After that speech, I quickly went through some statistics. 2014, India's defense exports were only 1,940 crores. Our defense imports were 50,000 crores. Today, our defense exports in 2024 from 1,900 crore rupees are 24,000 crore rupees. And इसका पूरा श्रेय मैं हमारे जो मेक इन इंडिया कैंपेन है, मैं मेक इन इंडिया कैंपेन को देना चाहता हूं, और खास करके हमारे पब्लिक सेक्टर, प्राइवेट सेक्टर, डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और बधाई देना चाहूंगा। सर, मेरा मानना हमेशा रहा है कि राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एक ऐसा मुद्दा है, एक ऐसा इशू है जिसका हमें कभी भी राजनीतिकरण नहीं करना चाहिए। We have many issues to score political points at each other, but this is an issue where we must rise above politics. You yourself were a part of a delegation led by my colleague. But it's important to highlight certain facts and figures. And I think the Honorable Home Minister raised these points in the Lok Sabha yesterday. The fact is that in the last 10 years, terror incidents in Jammu and Kashmir have dropped by 69%. Naxal-related deaths in the last 10 years have fallen by 70%. There's been a 10-fold reduction in terror incidents and an 80% reduction in civilian casualties in Kashmir since the abrogation of Article 370. Cross-border infiltration from 2010, UP had a role to play in that, NDA has a role to play. From 2010 to 23 has come down by 90%. लेकिन मुंबई के बारे में बहुत लोगों ने चर्चा की, हमारे संजय भाई ने चर्चा की, प्रफुल्ल जी ने चर्चा की, रक्षा मंत्री जी ने, होम मिनिस्टर ने, कई लोगों ने. Sir, I must tell you, I have represented South Mumbai as a Lok Sabha MP from 2004 to 2014. In those 10 years, someone spoke about a Congress MP who wrote a book and said that he's not an expert. But I can tell you, when you're a local MP of an area which has been struck repeatedly by terrorists, you become an expert. 2006, the suburban train blasts, how many people died? Almost 190 innocent lives were lost in 2006. Immediately after that, in 2 years, we saw 26/11/2008. That claimed 166 lives, and beyond the lives that it claimed, it left in many ways a permanent scar on the conscience of our nation. Uske 3 सालों के बाद, I remember Mr. Chidambaram was Home Minister of India at the time and he visited Mumbai. 2011, Zaveri Bazaar, the gold hub of India, Pancharatna, the diamond hub of India, many other parts of Mumbai were attacked, where almost 27 people lost their lives. लेकिन आज मुझे यह बताते हुए बहुत गर्व और प्रसन्नता हो रही है कि मुंबई में एक दशक से अधिक समय में एक भी आतंकवादी हमला नहीं हुई. Not even one terrorist attack since 2011 to now, 2025. I also want to bring a very important point, since a lot of people are talking about Mumbai. The 2006 train blasts, for the House's knowledge, Mumbai is one of the most congested cities in the world. Mumbai's suburban rail network handles 50% of India's daily railway traffic. 50%. Imagine the scenario in 2006 when commuters during peak hours are riding home after a long day of work. 7 blasts, one after the other, suburban trains during peak hours in 2006 that killed 189 people and injured more than 824 people. But for 20 years, that matter has been languishing before the court. हमारे उज्जवल निकम जी का मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूं जो आज सांसद बन चुके हैं. Maybe he will also highlight some of the legal lacunae on that issue. But on July 21st, just last week, the Honorable Bombay High Court passed a verdict where they acquitted all 12 accused on that issue. Sadly, only a few political parties in this country, including mine, demanded that the Maharashtra government should appeal that decision in the Supreme Court. And within 3 days of that appeal on July 24th, I'm happy to say that the Supreme Court of India stayed the operation of the Bombay High Court's decision. And I can assure through this House all the victims of the 2006 terror incident that the Maharashtra government will do whatever is required in the Supreme Court to ensure that they get justice after 20 long years. जहां तक पाकिस्तान की बात है, I don't think there's any reason to reiterate the point about Pakistan being what it is. आज पूरी विश्व में लोग जानते हैं कि पाकिस्तान की हुकूमत असल में चुनी हुई सरकार के पास नहीं बल्कि पाकिस्तान आर्मी के पास है. और कई लोगों ने इस बात को कहा, मैं भी इस बात को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि जहां विश्व में सरकारों के पास आर्मी होती है, पाकिस्तान में आर्मी के पास एक सरकार है. एंड इस इन्वर्जन की वजह से पीस विद अ रोग स्टेट लाइक पाकिस्तान remains very elusive. During Operation Sindoor, during the peak of the military campaign, who were the people that the Indian government and the Indian people had as our spokespersons. Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh. उन्हें हमने प्रवक्ता के रूप में हमने मैदान में उतारा. But who was Pakistan Army's spokesperson? A man, Lieutenant General Ahmad Sharif, जिनके पिता एक ऐसे साइंटिस्ट थे जिन पर यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने ओसामा बिन लादेन को न्यूक्लियर जानकारी, न्यूक्लियर सीक्रेट्स देने का आरोप है. सो द फैक्ट इज, ये एक बहुत ही एक गंभीर तथ्य है. इट्स अ सीरियस फैक्ट. पाकिस्तान इज अ बनाना रिपब्लिक एंड हमें हर रोज दुनिया को यह याद दिलाते होना होगा. जहां तक डिप्लोमेटिक एफर्ट है, उसमें आप एक डेलीगेशन में शामिल थे. हमारे कई सांसद कटिंग अक्रॉस पार्टीज went abroad, traveled to different parts of the world. I had the opportunity to travel to South America, Central America, North America, including the United States. My delegation, firstly, I must thank the leader of my delegation, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, who I would say led from the front. He led very effectively, very inclusively. I also thank the Prime Minister, my party leader, the External Affairs Minister, for...
Can we keep the silence a bit? The murmur is slowly increasing around the house. So I request all the honorable members, keep the silence, please. Manya Pramod ji, can we just keep the silence a bit? Thoda sa. The murmur is slowly rising in the house. Yeah, thank you. Please continue.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Everyone.
I thank the Prime Minister, External Affairs Minister for nominating me to go on this important delegation. But I'm also grateful to two members in this house. One is Mr. Sarfraz Ahmed. Second is Mr. Bhubaneswar Kalita from Rajya Sabha, who were part of this delegation that I was part of. We had 4 MPs from the Lok Sabha. We had a former diplomat. And I want to thank firstly all our hard-working diplomats. I think it's fair to say that India's diplomats are second to none. They do an amazing job representing our country around the world. But unfortunately, the positive is that Operation Sindoor's diplomatic effort united all of us. But the unfortunate part is it united us only momentarily. लेकिन मेरा एक अनुभव है, शक्ति सिंह भाई, मैं आपसे I want to make one important point. और इस ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने यदि हमें कुछ सिखाया, उन्होंने सिखाया कि जब भारत एकजुट होता है तभी भारत प्रभावशाली होता है और हम कुछ भी सफलता से उसे हासिल प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. And in that spirit, some very constructive suggestions. Hamare Shekhawat ji is also here as the Union Minister. I would like him to take these suggestions to the government. Number 1, Pakistan की international financing पर बात हुई, चाहे IMF हो या bilateral aid. Firstly, मैं government को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि FATF और अन्य agencies के माध्यम से हम दबाव बढ़ा रहे हैं. इसके साथ-साथ one point which people may not have spoken about. In the past, a country like Ukraine, a country like South Africa, which were nuclear powers, have been denuclearized. We must push unitedly for the denuclearization of Pakistan. Then, since Operation Sindoor is still active, I would urge the government that rather than responding only reactively, if we have credible intel that there is a terror camp in Pakistan, and they are planning a terror attack against India, we must act swiftly and preemptively, not just respond reactively. इसके साथ साथ एक जो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण फीडबैक हमें खास करके गयाना, पैनामा और कोलंबिया, दक्षिण अमेरिका और सेंट्रल अमेरिका से हमें मिला, जो ग्लोबल साउथ हम कहते हैं. आप भी अफ्रीका ग्लोबल साउथ में गए थे. अमेरिका ने USAID, which is their development assistance arm, उन्होंने उसे बंद किया है. That has left a vacuum in the global south. In my opinion, India must increase its developmental assistance to the global south. Countries like Panama, Colombia, Guyana told us very clearly, we want a non-US, non-Chinese partner like India that is democratic and that can invest and lend to the region. We must also, which I think something which every MP will agree with me on, we must also revive our international parliamentary friendship groups, send more multi-party MPs overseas to represent India. I think this will increase our goodwill across the world. But unfortunately, अनफॉर्चुनेटली जो एक दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण
Honorable
विषय
member,
है,
let's conclude.
बहुत से लोग कहते हैं
Let's
कि
conclude.
सर फ्यू मिनट्स बहुत से लोग कहते हैं कि हमें इस मुद्दे का राजनीतिकरण नहीं करना चाहते, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इशू हैज बिकम पोलिटिसाइज्ड. आई जस्ट वांट टू कमेंट ऑन अ फ्यू थिंग्स. Firstly, it's curiously unfortunate that, and I'm not naming any country, I'm not naming any individual, when a head of state of a certain country who may not have a deep understanding of South Asian history repeatedly makes a claim that India and Pakistan's conflict dates back thousands of years, when all of us know it's from 1947. No one chooses to quote him. But when he makes a claim which suits someone's narrative, that gets quoted. So I want to make one comment. I studied in the US. We respect America's people. We respect America's democracy. I would say we even respect America's presidency. But our trust in India's armed forces and elected leadership has to precede the words of any head of state, regardless of which country they belong to. In fact, one advice to the Americans: if the Americans had listened to India's experience and knowledge regarding Pakistan, perhaps 9/11 and the $8 trillion war on terror would not have happened. So few points. I'm summing up. The other issue is of foreign validation. There's also, some people asked a question, has our diplomacy failed? Which countries supported us? Firstly, in my opinion, that's a wrong question. You may have seen that also. Many countries supported us.
We'll have to conclude on.
But when it comes to our national sovereignty, when it comes to protecting our borders, in my opinion, we don't need anyone's approval. We don't require anyone's permission. There are many countries that told us. Many parts of the world are war weary because of Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, Israel, Iran, to some extent now recently Thailand, Cambodia. They can choose to remain silent, but we have every right to defend ourselves and not take anyone's permission. A very important point I must make. Despite that, BRICS nations supported us. Recently, FATF condemned the Pahalgam attack. America designated TRF, which took credit for this attack, as a foreign terrorist organization. लेकिन जो लोग आज भी इंटरनेशनल वैलिडेशन के लिए डेस्परेट है, मैं एक अनुभव उनको कहना चाहता हूं.
थैंक यू.
हमारी जब डेलीगेशन, सुनिए सर, हमारी जब डेलीगेशन वॉशिंगटन डीसी में थी, फॉरेन सेनेट रिलेशंस कमेटी चेयरमैन, हाउस फॉरेन रिलेशंस कमेटी chairpersons were meeting us. J.D. Vance, America's vice president, was receiving our delegation. उसी समय पाकिस्तानी डेलीगेशन लेड बाय बिलावल भुट्टो वॉशिंगटन डीसी, न्यूयॉर्क का चक्कर काट रहे थे भिखारी की तरह.
थैंक यू.
हमें भी मिलेगा. J.D. Vance, vice president of India, only met our delegation.
Thank you.
So I want to summarize by making a few last words.
I'm sorry, I'm running out of time.
Few last words. So the fact is,
just 30 seconds.
The few last words.
30 seconds.
I am from Mumbai. We have seen terror attacks very, very closely. Unfortunately, I stood up in the Lok Sabha in 2008 after 26/11 happened in my constituency. I demanded retaliation. I demanded action. Sadly, it never came. And today, those who did nothing are trying to find faults in those that did something. So I want to thank the government. I want to thank them for the new normal. This new normal should continue. And as I said, the fact that Operation Sindoor is still active today, we must act preemptively. We must ensure that there is no terror attack in India ever again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.